Okay, to excuse the horror that's happening in the background, I really haven't been playing Melee for that long. And if that excuse doesn't suffice, don't worry, I got more of them. And yes, I also did cherry pick that game out of the hundreds I've played and the hundreds I lost that day, but to get into the story of what's about the stupidest thing I've ever done. It started off like any other day. I just simply woke up, which I know was really fucking boring, but my next mistake was crucial and it cost me a lot of money. I turned on my PlayStation 4 and I was like, oh well shit, I didn't mean to do that. I want to go on my PC, watch a video that just got uploaded, go play Arknights, do all the regular shit I do in the morning. So I think to myself, well, after initialization I'll turn it off, because you can't immediately turn off your PlayStation 4. The technology doesn't support that so far. So I go off, watch my own video, go do my dailies on Arknights, do all that shit, go off, wash my face, brush my teeth, don't floss, flossing's for cucks. And then I come back into my room and think to myself, hey, I want to play some Melee today. So I launch up Slippy and then do the only rational thing afterwards. I grab my USB cable and then also grab my controller to play. The DualShock 4. Which, I know what you're saying. Who the fuck would play Smash with a fucking DualShock 4? And you're completely right. But here's the excuse. I'm poor. Why do you think tap water is my favorite drink? Why do you think pancakes are my favorite food? Listen, I mean, as much as I would like to get a GameCube controller, Nintendo's selling that shit for 100 fucking Canadian. They act as though that shit wasn't born before me. So, I could buy a GameCube controller, or I could save $100. I mean, Endwalker's coming out, you feel me? So, I'm gonna still use the fucking DualShock 4. But what I was still unaware of is just how much that would fuck me over, so I go off, play the game and all that. And then I send my friend a text message, all that. And then as I'm just playing the game, I get a notification on my phone. I'm like, okay, probably just my friend that I sent the message to or respond to after this game. So I finish up the game, check on my phone, and it's like an email notification. I'm like, who the fuck is gonna email me? You know? I was like, okay, what is it? And it's from PlayStation. And they're like, oh, it's a receipt of your purchase. I'm like, well, what the fuck you mean? I haven't used my PlayStation in a while now. And they're not like Epic Games, because Epic Games doesn't give you a receipt till like a fucking millennia after you purchase something. I'm still yet to receive the receipt on my Darkest Dungeon 2 purchase. They take their fucking time with that shit. So I'm like, well, I must have purchased something recently. So I pull it up and it's like, you bought an Overwatch loot box. And I was like, okay, two problems. One is, I don't buy loot boxes because I'm not a fucking moron. Two is, I don't own Overwatch. So who has access to my account? So I start panicking and all that. Granted, they don't exactly have access to a wealth of money. I feel as though if somebody were to have hacked my account, they would be rather disappointed, but I'm like, I am getting a bit panicked. I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I look over to my left. I notice my PlayStation's on. And I was like, you're fucking kidding me now. So I switch the HDMI over to the PlayStation now. I'm literally on the fucking PlayStation store. Not on the Overwatch thing because I was still playing the match, but I was literally in the fucking PlayStation store and I bought the loot box. You know those stories of like the children on Fortnite that spend like thousands of their mom's credit card because they don't know what numbers mean? I felt like that. I was more like, man, what a bunch of dumbass fucking kids. And now I'm the dumbass kid. It doesn't feel that good. So I'm like, well shit. It only costs $8, which is still like a lot for me, but you know, it's not insane. And I would like to get a refund on it, but we're also looking at Sony. Refunds scare them greatly. So I was like, I doubt I'll be able to decide to Google it. And it says, if you want to get a refund, I'm like, oh, that's a fucking lie right there. Go over to this website and then, you know, contact somebody on Sony's side. I'm like, you know, fuck it, sure, I'll try it out. Well, like, what do I stand to lose, right? Except for the time. So I click on it, go through, start messaging the person. And then, for whatever fucking reason, they try to make the refund process for loot boxes on a game I don't own that difficult. I'm like, hey dude, can I get a refund on this? The Overwatch loot boxes I bought like, you know, like 5 minutes ago now. If you want a reason as to why I don't think this purchase is that justified, I don't own Overwatch. They try to like snag a couple more hours out of my time. I don't know what the fuck they're getting paid by. Must have been getting paid by the minute or some shit. But I'm like, okay, fine, sure, yeah, whatever. And then, hey, I mean, at the end, I did get my refund. But I also felt like a fucking moron for having to explain what happened to them. So yeah, that was probably about the stupidest thing that's happened to me recently. I don't know if I'm fully to blame. I blame the thing for both reading my inputs on the PC and on the PlayStation 4, but that's just me trying to justify acting like that one kid who just spent millions on their mother's credit card for fucking V-Bucks.